Okay, here we go. This is question 7 off June 2008 called 2 paper, and we've got this bracket here cubed. Now with any luck you recognise that as being the binomial expansion, and there's help in the formula book. It says how to deal with a plus b to the power of n. So you put in that is your a, and that is your b, and that is your n. And out comes the answer in this form. Now, one thing to watch out for. Okay, when you're doing this, I've done the first couple of terms for you. This term here, the brackets round this expression here, the 4 over x squared, become completely essential after the second term. Okay, so when you got higher powers of 4 over x squared, make sure you put it in brackets. You may be wondering, okay, how do I do 4 over x squared, something like 4 over x squared to the power 2? And for that you say it's 4 over x squared squared, so you square the top, it's 4 squared, over x squared squared. When you square x squared, you multiply the powers. Power of the power, 2 times 2 is 4, so it's 4 squared over x squared when you're multiplying that out. So you should be able to get the right values of p and q. This term here, this 64 over x to the power 6, you don't have to work that out, but it's in there to help you check your method. So if you go as far as the 4th term and yours agrees with that, then you know you're doing it right. Okay, on to part B. Hence, meaning using what you've just done, find this answer. So it doesn't mean integrate that. No, it means integrate this thing here. So 1 plus whatever you had over x squared plus whatever else you had over x to the power 4 plus 64 over x to the power 6. And in order to do that integral, you're going to have to take stuff like this. Remember, the way you integrate something like this is you write it's a fraction with numbers times a fraction with x's. So your x to the power 6 is going to be on the bottom, and you'll have a 1 on the top of that, and your fraction with numbers takes care of your 64, and it must be over 1. So this is the bit you need to express as a power of x. So 64 over 1 times 1 over x to the 6 is 64 times x to the power of minus 6, 1 over this, we need a negative power. And so you get loads of terms, you get 4 terms like that, and each one you add 1 to the power, you divide by the new power, and that's how you integrate this thing here. And then the last part, well, we've got limits on it, is all you do is you take your previous answer and you lob it in square brackets, and if you were good and remember to put a plus on the end, you don't need that. You put the 2 on the 1 on the top and the 1 on the bottom, substitute the 2 in, substitute the 1 in, subtract the 2, you can use your calculator, and that should be 2 fairly easy marks to finish off with. Okay? One last point on this question. Whatever you do, you make sure you do part B. So even if you have to make up the values of P and Q in part A, you still make sure that you move on to part B with your values of P and Q, and hopefully they follow through with all the marks, and even if they don't, you'll get your method marks. Don't give up on part B just because you couldn't do A.